next, viewers, we're getting some more breaking updates when it comes to Kharkiv. Now, we're being told that at least 8 people have lost their lives in the night of shelling that had taken place in Kharkiv. Remember, this is another eastern part of the Ukraine where we have seen rapid bombardment by the Russian troops, and now we're being told that at least 8 people have lost their lives in the shelling that took place in that particular area in Kharkiv, and the images of the rubble, in fact, are on your screen, viewers. You can see the kind of destruction that these kind of shellings are leaving behind across Ukraine, be it Kyiv, be it Kharkiv, be it Kherson, another place where in fact the Russian troops had taken over, and now in Kharkiv as well, we have seen rapid bombardment and airstrikes as well that had taken place, and now an entire night of shelling that has resulted in the kind of destruction that we're showing you on your screens right now. And you can see the kind of bombardment that took place, and this also seems to be like a residential area as well, even as Russia publicly maintains that they are not targeting residential areas, they're not targeting civilians. However, we see this kind of bombardment by the Russian troops on residential blocks, on residential areas, and as a result of that, we see the kind of collateral damage in the terms of civilian lives that have been lost as well. And Shivani Sharma also joins us on the broadcast. Shivani, now we see the kind of sporadic bombing that the Russian troops are carrying out, even as they publicly maintain that they are not targeting residential areas. They are still, we see the pictures that speak otherwise. This comes in the backdrop of even when Russia has declared a temporary ceasefire in certain parts of Ukraine.
Priyanka, we've seen that since last 12 days, today is the 12th day, and Russia has just not stopped. It has been continuing its attacks even though the round of talks were continuing. We saw on 28th of February when Ukraine and Russia were on the negotiating tables, and that time too the attacks were happening on various buildings, and since then each day we have seen how the talks have been going ahead, with second round happening and then a ceasefire temporarily that was agreed upon. But since then we've seen how Russia has been escalating its attack each day, and also on the civilian buildings, on residential buildings, on maternity hospitals, on various locations. It has continued to attack, though we know that the ceasefire was agreed upon for 2 different places in Ukraine. One was Mariupol, another was Volnovakha. And apart from these places, these attacks have been taking place continuously. And right now, I am at Lithuania in Vilnius, where the United States Secretary of State is continuing to talk with the members of his embassy and also the leaders of the country, the Prime Minister, the President, and also the Foreign Minister. So he'll be meeting these leaders through the day. We are tracking these talks, and on the other side, we are also seeing how Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a word with President Zelensky on phone. Both the leaders had an important talk, and President Zelensky has been quite appealing to all these nations for help during this hour of crisis. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also showed his concerns for the people and the humanitarian crisis that's going on here at this place. So we are getting our viewers multiple developments from multiple fronts, from Ukraine to Lithuania and Poland and other borders too. Priyanka.
Well, yes, Shivani, thank you for getting us that perspective. Let's take a look at this one particular report from Ukraine first.